I am Shannon. This is Shannon Talks Yarn, where I like to talk a lot about yarn. And today I want to talk to you about my Lionbrand order. I had ordered it last week, I believe on Wednesday, and it is now Tuesday. You're probably watching this on Thursday. So it did take under a week to get this. It was not a huge order. It was about $25 and the shipping was $6. So the box, this is the size of the box that it came in right here. So not the biggest box, which I was a little concerned when I saw it on my doorstep. But we'll get to that in a minute. A couple things led up to this purchase. I had seen Kim from Affordably Crafty post like a screenshot of an email she had gotten, and it was that Lionbrand had basic stitch and they had reflective. And I've been looking for reflective yarn. I had gotten some in at the thrift store I like to go to. I can put a playlist up here with my thrifty yarn videos, but it didn't come with a label. But I am very certain that it was the Red Heart Reflective, which is discontinued. So I had made one headband for someone I know who does a lot of bicycling, and she's on EMS, so she's like out at night, and so I gave that headband to her, but I really wanted something for myself. So that's part one. And then part two is I had gotten an email from Lionbrand stating that their clearance was an additional 20% off. So when I went and they still had the reflective, I decided to go ahead and order some. So here is what I got. As I said, I was a little concerned when I saw this box because there was supposed to be 10 skeins of yarn in here. So I thought, you know, that's kind of a tight fit for this box. And you would think that I would be better at estimating this, like the weight of the yarn and how many ounces it is and how many yards it is, but I'm still not that great at that for some reason. So these are pretty tiny skeins. So I will say I'm like a smidge disappointed with how small they are, but you know, it is what it is, and that's just me not doing a superb job of, you know, investigating that. So here is the first one I got, and it looks a little bit bluer on my screen, but this is called Pure Platinum, and it is definitely a gray. They had like an icy blue one that I contemplated buying, but this is the gray. So you can see this is kind of a tiny skein. So the specs on all of these are the same. It is 88% acrylic and then 12% polyester. And it says it's a medium 4-weight, and you can machine wash it, and it looks like it is dryable as well. It's anti-pilling acrylic yarn twisted with reflective yarn. It is only a 2.5 ounce skein, and it is 115 yards. So, yeah, and I would say, I mean, it's a 4-weight, but it's not like how some 4-weights are like a thick 4-weight. This is just a 4-weight. So anyway, I am still happy with it. I got 2 of this platinum. I think that's reading a little bit more accurate right here. So 2 pure platinum, and then I got 2 of these, and this is called Neptune Green, but it is definitely a turquoisey color, and I got this one more with me in mind. When I was looking at these, so if you don't know, I live pretty rurally, and my husband and I commute to work, and pretty soon it is going to be dark. Like when we, you know, before we even leave to come home, it'll be dark. And I just thought it wouldn't be a bad idea to have some reflective like hats or like a headband or, you know, something just to have in the car or in, you know, our like winter bags, so that if something were to happen at night, it would just be one other, you know, layer of protection, I guess you could say. So yes, here are 2 of this Lagoon, Neptune Green. Didn't have the word Lagoon in it. Neptune Green. And then I got 6 of the black, and it is called Iron Gray. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you without my light on what the yarn looks like. So I'm going to shut the light off, and then you can see it is basically almost black with those little, like, you can see the reflective specks in there. But when I turn this light back on, you're going to notice, like, it really is a good job of reflecting. So, I mean, I'm definitely, sorry about that reflection. I'm definitely happy about getting some reflective yarn. I just wish they would have been bigger skeins is all. It is what it is. That Red Heart reflective, it might have been like a 5 weight. I mean, it was thick and chunky, and I really liked it. So I was hoping this would be a good replacement. If you have used a different reflective yarn and really liked it, or you thought maybe it was a better deal, I don't know, please let me know in the comments, because that is something I am interested in. I mean, I do have enough to make, definitely myself, my husband, my daughter, her boyfriend. I definitely have enough to make us hats. But just for future reference, these were 20% off, so I believe they were $2.40, and then the extra 20% off, so I believe I paid $2 a piece for each of these. So not terrible. Not terrible. Like I said, just hoping there was more. I got a couple non-yarn items, but we're on their clearance section that I just thought would be handy to have. And I got them super cheap. So here is Lionbrand 24 split ring markers. So stitch markers in some different sizes here. I mean, they're not like the most trendiest colors by any means, but they were on clearance for $1, and then it was 20% off. So these were 80 cents. I mean, definitely, I mean, that's cheaper than the Dollar Tree. And, you know, they don't have to be cute. They'll get the job done. So I am pleased with those. I'm not entirely sure why I bought 2 of these. Maybe it was an accident, or maybe I had something in my mind, but it is Lionbrand Pom-Pom Maker. So they aren't huge by any means. It looks like maybe, because it says there's 3 pom-pom makers in here, so they must be, you know, that red, that yellow, or red, blue, and then there's that yellow. So, you know, pretty small in size, I guess. We'll see how it works. It appears to work just like any other pom-pom maker on the back here. But again, these were $1 and 20% off. So it was 80 cents a piece for those. So I'm going to try it out. Hopefully that's a good deal. And then this, another super exciting purchase, but I'm actually kind of excited about. They had these 6 large-eyed blunt needles for weaving ends and finishing. And again, $1, but I paid 80 cents. And look how big the eyes are in those ones in the center there. Like, I'm kind of like, my middle-aged eyes are excited about this because it'll be easier in the evening when it's not super light out to get my thread. So I probably should have bought another one of these. I thought, I mean, even at $1, that's still great for 6 large-eyed yarn needles. So super happy about that. The very last thing I got was not a bargain, but I bought it for a project for my friend. And you know how sometimes like you wouldn't spend something for you, but you would do it for a friend? That's what this purchase is. So if you saw the video that just came out, I believe it was my very last one, I will link it right up here. I had a very small Joann's haul, and I went in and I did get, it's like a light pink colored acrylic yarn, and it was the Schitt's Creek brand. It's Lionbrand, but it was like their line. And I have never actually watched the show, but I know people think it's very funny, so maybe I will check it out. But the issue with the yarn is that unless you are a yarny person who loves that show and just has the satisfaction of using the yarn with a label on it, you know, I mean, that's awesome. But if you give the item to someone and it doesn't have the Schitt's Creek logo and label on it, like it just looks like normal yarn. Like there's nothing to differentiate it. So that's an issue. But on lionbrand.com, they did have these, they call it a garment label. So it's got the show logo, and then it says property of Rosebud Motel there. So that just snaps on like your hat or your scarf. Now, I mean, I'm sure Lionbrand knows more about selling yarn than I do. I've never sold a skein of yarn in my life. But I would have thought that if they had these like packaged up in better packaging than this, like, you know, with the logo on top, and maybe put like 2 in a package. I would have thought that if they sold these next to the yarn, maybe it would have helped sell more yarn. Because then you could actually like make a project and give a gift. Unless, you know, if maybe I'm completely wrong and they did this, like if you saw it in your store, definitely let me know. I just know in my store they did not have anything like this. So, and I paid $2.99 for this. There was no deal. So I paid almost as much for the little label as I did the skein of yarn. But the yarn was originally 10. It was on clearance for 5, and I had a 25% off coupon from the app. So I paid $3.50 for the yarn and then $3 for the tag. So I guess it is what it is, right? I hope you enjoyed this Lionbrand haul. It definitely was not as big as the first haul I did from Lionbrand. I wasn't quite as impressed with this one. It wasn't bad by any means, but that's what it is. And I really appreciate you stopping and watching the video and talking yarn with me. And if, like I said, if you have any other insights on the reflective yarn, I would love to hear them below. So if this is your thing, I would love it if you would stick around and subscribe. Thanks, guys.